There's an urban legend about an app that came out back in 2013 called Stranger Danger. It was said to have been first created in a small town called Lockwood Valley, somewhere in the States, because kids were constantly going missing there. And none of the adults actually saw who these strangers were. They would just turn their backs for one moment, and when they looked back around, their child would have vanished. Some people said there was a hooded man that would drive down the streets in a black car offering them candy. They said the kids would hear him whistling as they played in the fields or the playgrounds, and they'd see him wave the bag of goodies out the window. He was called the Candyman of Lockwood Valley, but there was no evidence of him actually existing. No one ever got photographs. It would really only be rumors from the kids. Now, unfortunately, while kids do go missing all around the world every single day, this specific town was said to be the absolute worst. Like, tons of kids were vanishing on a daily basis just in this location, and people said the land must have been cursed. So an unknown developer came up with this app called Stranger Danger, which was said to act as a radar, scanning the area around you and showing you red dots when strangers were nearby. It kind of reminds me of those ghost detector apps, if you guys have ever used something like that, except humans are almost scarier. And it was especially encouraged to use at night when you couldn't really see your surroundings. So it wasn't just for kids, it was for anyone, young and old, that feared for their safety. And almost immediately after it was released, hundreds of people in the town began downloading it. And at first, it seemed to really help. People were able to keep an eye out on who was nearby, and they could choose to hide, run, call for help. And for a while, there was absolutely no kidnappings. But there was still something pretty eerie about walking down a dark, foggy street at night, and then suddenly seeing a red dot appear only 10 feet away from you on the radar. But I guess it was better than not knowing, right? Well, one day, only a couple weeks after this app was launched, something really strange started happening with it. You'd be walking home in the evening, looking at your radar, and suddenly 5, 6, 7, 8 dots began appearing all around you. And as you looked around, you could see shadowed, hooded figures closing in on you. And usually the app would let you sound this emergency alarm, but it wasn't working. Now, people didn't know at the time, but the app actually got hacked by the same mysterious group that had been tormenting the town for years. The same people that were kidnapping. And because everyone had their location services turned on, they were able to see where everyone was all of the time, allowing them to easily target their victims. And then the disappearances got worse than they ever had been before. And as soon as this was found out, the app was taken down. Pretty much everyone moved out of the town. It became this abandoned ghost town.